Hey, it's Michael. Welcome to week three. Last week we started with data, and that's a huge part of this class is to start to understand data without necessarily being very good or let's call it a data expert. Hopefully, you all are feeling a little bit more comfortable. I use Airtable for this reason. It's a really easy to use database and does a lot of fancy things. In fact, many of the things that we're going to do later in the class for being able to view and organize the data are already part of Airtable, and it does it automatically. So a lot of help, hopefully, to not get bogged down in some of the mechanics of working with data, but yet to look at the bigger picture, which is our goal. We need to say, or find out, does this represent something interesting? Does it manage to model, and I'll call it a model because the fields model a particular topic. So I had you start out with Twitter. I hope you enjoyed this. The reason I use Twitter or X or whatever it's called is just because it probably has as much data as there possibly exists, because anyone can contribute to Twitter and all the data is public. So that means you're not going to struggle too much in finding something, but you will, of course, have struggles as you found with words. That's important. Words don't always mean what you think they mean. And that's why some of the other data, such as location or any of these other data, are actually a real uh, what do you call it? Help qualify things, because you might not know what something is called, but as I just saw, this is a really good one. I used Twitter at South by Southwest way back a long time ago, and it was the way you understood what was going on. There was amazing tools that helped you actually connect with people that were sitting around you because you were all tweeting about a particular topic. So, yes, Twitter is kind of magical for that reason. If you can figure out how to get people to find the data, which, meta conversation aside, is our goal as IAs, right? We want you to find the things you need. So each of you then chose a topic and you shared that, and where how you got that data is really a starting point. You own this, you can change it, you can do whatever you want to it, but I wanted you to start with something rather than make it up from scratch, because that can be challenging. Although I believe someone said that you can probably get GPT to make up some example data for you if you needed to just look at it and see if it makes sense. That aside, you guys scraped it somewhere, but really it's the topic and the model itself that needs to be fixed before we can move on to organizing it. And that's the topic for this week. So let's go over here to week three. We're beginning the concept of patterns. Patterns is just being able to look at it and understand it. Some people asked about numeric. I don't think anyone can look at a bunch of numbers and just figure out if there's some meaning to it. But if you look at a bunch of words, you might be able to figure out that there's problems with it. So that's what we're going to fix this week, is fix up our data, get it ready to go. And there's a few techniques. They're all listed here. I apologize, by the way. I realize we live in two worlds, Canvas and Mural. I kind of want to stick to Mural because I don't personally go to Canvas all that often. And those modules, while I wrote them and I like them, are still just a part of the story. I also did these videos, which I may not have shared, and apologies, that's on me, about data. So there's three videos. If you want to watch them, it just shows me doing the kind of things that you're going to do. If I didn't share these, well, you can let me know, by the way. I apologize if I have not given you any resources that you need. But I put them all here just so they're there. And I also talk about this in doing this myself with my data, which is about perfumes. The perfume data wasn't so great, so I had to fix it. Okay, so you might have noticed from last week to this week, it's a little bit less messy and a little bit less chaotic. Uh, I'm playing with these ideas in Mural, and you're starting to see them here. As you contribute here, you will begin to notice some organizational things happening. All that's on purpose, just to get you kind of ready for what we're going to end up doing. And I've asked a few questions. I hope you've seen this week that one of my goals is to get you to participate early, think about some things that you're going to do, share those so I can help, if possible, to steer you away from things that might not be worthwhile. Many of you are working with data sets that probably won't work out. You'll need to pivot to another one. I just want to make sure you have that in mind so that you can do it. I think once you know the direction, following it is not too hard, but finding the direction, I want to be up to you rather than dictate it to you, because then you have opportunities to learn. So I also have down here, you can reshare your data set. Many of you also are participating very late in the week. By Sunday and Monday, I am really not going to give hard pivoting information. I feel like it's just too late at that point to really engage with you. So please contribute early if you're looking for feedback. So if you did participate late and did not get personal feedback to me, a best thing to do is to just paste it here and also use a comment with an @mention me so I can take a quick look. I'm usually really pretty good about this because I don't want you to waste a lot of time. So I will come in and hopefully give you feedback almost immediately if I can. Uh, and that's why we don't meet, by the way, because I don't feel like until you get work done that you really have the right questions or the right perspective that I can help you with. Because as you can see, I can just talk and talk and talk. You know, these videos are pretty long. Hopefully that sets you up for this upcoming assignment, which is due. And the way you submit assignments is to submit them into the proper place in Canvas. It'll be a link to Airtable. Make sure that you're using the sharing that I mentioned earlier so that I can see it and others can see it, because you will learn from each other as well. Don't forget, the part of the thing you don't know now is you're not all going in different directions. You all are kind of actually going in the same direction. So don't think that you're not going to be able to learn from other people. So any issues, please email me. I'm always happy to help. And have a great week 3. Oh, and have a happy 4th of July.